KMIR Midday continues.
Welcome back. ISIS released a new video yesterday. It shows a captive British journalist. NBC's Jim Maceda reports from London.
Hello.
The latest ISIS video of yet another British hostage, this time photojournalist John Candleye, has disturbed people here, given what's happened to previous British and U.S. hostages paraded on video by ISIS. Still, this video is very different in that ISIS this time isn't seen to physically abuse or threaten Candleye, and it has a bizarre, almost pedantic message for the West. But British government officials and security officials are taking it very seriously. And some officials, in fact, here are saying the video is a sign that ISIS is becoming desperate now to drum up support as the West is ratcheting up its anti-ISIS military campaign. Now, that Australian plot, the thwarted ISIS plot to behead victims at random in the streets of Sydney, that's also getting a lot of play here in Britain. Australia, like Great Britain, is a key U.S. ally in the war on ISIS. It's grappling with what could be ISIS's first foray now into homegrown terrorism. Up until now, ISIS had focused its attacks in Syria and in Iraq. Of course, Britain has its own history of homegrown terror, from the 7/7 bombings in 2005 to the Woolwich slaying just last year of that British soldier hacked to death in public by 2 Islamist militants. So it is a scary reminder that it's no longer just Al-Qaeda, but now ISIS, who could soon become a threat for Britons, even here at home. I'm Jim Maceda, NBC News, reporting in London. Now back to you.
Definitely scary. Thank you so much, Jim. The manhunt continues for the fugitive who gunned down 2 Pennsylvania state troopers. Stephanie Gosk has the very latest.
State police blocked roads around Canadensis, Pennsylvania Thursday evening, at one point focusing on the area surrounding the home where suspect Eric Freen lived with his parents. Some residents too scared to go outside.
Doors locked, and our dogs have room at the house now at night.
Others unable to get home.
Yeah, I'd like to go home. You know, I have dogs in the house.
While authorities struggle to find the alleged killer, investigators are looking closely at his past, focusing on an interest in the military. In 2007, he was an extra in a short film about Nazi German camps called Lustig. More recently, Freen joined a group called the Eastern Wolves that staged regular war reenactments, like this one posted on YouTube. Ben Long was a member too.
The group of people was a group of educated hobbyists and outdoorsmen who like to get out and have some fun.
The last time Long saw Freen was 6 months ago. He says he and his friends were stunned by the news.
Just didn't make sense. It really just doesn't make sense.
On Thursday, Freen was added to the FBI's 10 most wanted list, just as a community was paying their respects to one of Freen's victims. At the funeral for Corporal Brian Dixon, family, friends, and state troopers from around the country tried to make sense of the deadly shooting.
Godspeed, Hammer. We love you, and we miss you.
Just outside the church, snipers on rooftops reminded everyone that the search for his killer is not over.
That was Stephanie Gosk reporting. And the votes are in. Scotland will remain part of the United Kingdom. Kelly Kobiela reports.
They were up all night, both sides believing they'd win.
Too close to call.
By the early morning, it was over. A surprise 10-point victory for those who didn't want independence.
In response to the referendum question, should Scotland be an independent country, we're in favour of no.
The United Kingdom would remain united.
The people of Scotland have spoken, and it is a clear result. They have kept our country of 4 nations together. And like millions of other people, I am delighted.
For 2 years, it was a nation divided, people with different ideas of what they wanted. An independent Scotland with more control over government, or the status quo. The Queen urged Scotland to think carefully about their future. Politicians in London offered more autonomy in a last-ditch effort to keep the United Kingdom together. Now they'll have to deliver.
Unionist parties made vows late in the campaign to devolve more powers to Scotland. Scotland will expect these to be honoured in rapid course.
Many voters said this country would never be the same after this vote, and not just Scotland. All 4 countries in the United Kingdom have been promised more autonomy. Kelly Kobiella, NBC News, Edinburgh, Scotland.
Thank you very much, Kelly. If you're an Apple fan, you know why today is such a big day. The iPhone 6 is finally here, and around the country, including right here in the Valley, people were camping out last night to be the first to get that iPhone 6. Check out the scene in New York City. People were lined up for blocks to be the first to get their hands on that phone. The big draws for gadget geeks are the bigger screen, the longer battery life, better camera, and a faster processor. And take a look at this picture that I took this morning as people lined up outside the Apple store to get their iPhone 6s. The line wrapped around El Paseo. The company said it received a record 4 million first-day pre-orders for the new phones. That's double the number that the iPhone 5 received. But even if you're not getting the new iPhone 6, you can get a free iPhone update. Tech guru Mike Wendland shows us how.
You don't need the new iPhone 6 to take advantage of iOS 8 and the things like the new camera app. Besides making it easy to find and edit and organize your photos, there's a new time-lapse camera mode feature to give you effects like these that speed up video, and they condense things that you've captured over a long period of time to just a few seconds. It's a really cool feature. It's my favorite. The messaging app is also beefed up with iOS 8. You can quickly add voice clips or videos. When somebody asks you, "Where are you?" you can instantly send them a map of your exact whereabouts, and you can share that for an hour, all day, or indefinitely, whatever you want. And it is about time that Apple made its keyboard better. Well, they've done so with iOS 8. Now, as Android phones have been doing for a long time, you can get more accurate predictive texting or the very fast swipe feature that inputs words by swiping your finger across the screen to touch the individual keys.
To take full advantage of the new operating system, you really would need the iPhone 6. But all the features I just showed you and many others, they'll work just fine on older iPhones, at least iPhones made since 2010. You want more information about all this? Head over to my PC Mike Tech blog. There is my address on your screen. I've built in direct links to everything I just showed you. Till next time, I'm PC Mike Wendland for NBC News.
Thank you so much, Mike. And check this out. This is every iPhone owner's nightmare. The first person who bought the iPhone 6 in Perth, Australia, dropped it. Australian Jack Cooksey had waited in line overnight, but as you just saw, he dropped it. As soon as he opened the box, he was being interviewed by a reporter when he dropped it. Cries of shock were heard from the crowd as the new gadget landed on the ground. Cooksey, though, then picked up the phone and said, "All good," before rubbing the screen. So it looks like it didn't get destroyed. It's okay, in case you were wondering about the phone, and hopefully he's enjoying it right now. Stay with us because still to come on your KMIR Midday, 5 young wolf pups make their public debut at their new homes. You get to see them when we return. Stay with us.